One of the superpowers that we have is to be able to use our own discernment to decide what we're going to believe, who we're going to follow, and what we are going to allow ourselves to tune into. Our bodies know what is in alignment for us and what is not. Our bodies know what is off. If you learn to trust your body and to listen to it, your own physical reaction is going to tell you whether something you hear, something you read, something somebody tells you is something that you necessarily want to believe in or are ready to believe in or should believe in. Do you know how to spot a fake psychic or a channel who's maybe not actually channeling information, but just giving you their opinion or their idea or what they want you to hear? Over the course of the last several years, we have seen the emergence of so many more psychics and channels creating information, giving people information, doing downloads, channeling beings from other planets or extraterrestrial energy. And there is so much noise and so much information out there. People are unaware as to what they should believe, what they should listen to, who they should be following. And so today I'm going to share with you how to really tap into your discernment in order for you to decide whether the information that a psychic or a channel is sharing aligns with you, whether or not you're going to believe them, to align with them, to trust them, to be following them. Because when you're connected with a psychic or a channel and you're tapped into what they're channeling and what they're speaking and what they're sharing, it absolutely has the ability to change your entire life. So I'm not just talking about sessions, and it's not primarily about sessions, but you can use this for this. I'm talking about those psychics and channels that you see on YouTube, that you see on Reels, that you see on TikTok, even listening to me. One of the superpowers that we have is to be able to use our own discernment to decide what we're going to believe, who we're going to follow, and what we are going to allow ourselves to tune into. Welcome back to The Psychic Within. If you're new to me, my name is Carrie Cardozo. I am a master psychic. I use my abilities in order to help people to understand the truth, in order to help people to truly tap into the energetics and really understand what's going on in life, as well as how to tap into their unique abilities. And one of the things that has been happening over and over and over again in my life is that my clients have been bringing me channeled messages and videos of other psychics and channels and saying, is this real? These psychics are saying this, and these psychics have hundreds of thousands of followers and hundreds of thousands of views and likes and so many comments of people saying, yeah, this is real, or people saying, no, this is not real. And they always want to know what my opinion and thoughts are on it. Now, I do, and I'm not here to bash any psychics or any channels, but what I am here to share with you is what you can do in order to use your due diligence to decide whether something feels right to you. There are a lot of things that are coming about, and not only from psychics and channels, but from media outlets, from people just sharing their opinion, people sharing facts, scientific data. And the more that we are able to use our own discernment, we get to decide what we believe in, what we align our lives with, and what we start living and trusting in this life. Now, there has been a lot of talk about like this huge cancel culture, okay? And this huge cancel culture around judgment. Now we should just be accepting everybody and stop judging, especially in the spiritual community. Be all light and love and just accept everybody. And we've got to trust people, especially we've got to trust psychics. And I just don't agree with that. Discernment is so important. And I am by no means saying to go out and cancel people, okay? I'm not in the cancel culture. I do not like that. I don't agree with it. But you have the ability to unfollow somebody, to swipe away, to stop listening to things that maybe are slowing you down in your life or keeping you back. But oftentimes people have no idea how to discern whether what somebody's telling them is right or wrong. And sometimes they even feel bad for discerning it. They feel bad, like they're judging, they're criticizing, that maybe they don't have an open mind. Maybe they need to do their own healing work in order for somebody to be able to accept what somebody is saying. And that's just a pile of BS. We all have the ability to recognize what is for us, to recognize what maybe is truth, to recognize what we do want to follow and what we do want to listen. Now, I want to preface this by saying there is an energetic truth to everything that's said, meaning, or you can find the energetic truth to any topic, to any conversation, to anything, because everything holds a vibration. And if you learn how to use that and read energetic vibration, you can tell whether something is right or wrong. You can tell whether it exists. So if I make something up, and if you are in one of my courses, you will know I cannot make up examples. I'm always like, somebody give me an example. I can't make it up. I will stand there and be like, okay, because the energy just doesn't exist if you're making it up. If it's something that's real and it really exists out there, not just because somebody wants it to, there will be an energetic signature to it. That energetic signature gives us a lot of information. That's how psychics read energy. Psychics are able to tap into that vibration within inside of the energy and give you as much information as their abilities allow them to. Now, if you're psychic or not, because I've even seen some of my psychics will do this. Sometimes when we listen to what somebody says, it sounds really good, or it sounds really exciting, or it's new, or it's different, or everybody's supporting it, but there might be something off about it. So whether you're psychic or not, I'm going to share with you 5 different things that you can do, 5 different things that you should be aware of in order to be able to use your own discernment, to do your own due diligence as to whether the information that you're getting through channeled sources, okay, this is really through channeled sources because it's very specific, is actually correct or not, and whether you should listen to it. Now, as a psychic, I teach people and I align with, and I help people to open up as to what their beliefs are, okay? I align with the fact that I only am listening to things of the highest good. There is lots of information out there in the world. I am choosing to only tap into things that are for our highest good, that moves us forward, that allows us to really align with our soul and our soul's purpose. The other stuff I'm not interested in. I'm not talking to low vibrational energies. I'm not talking with entities. I'm not talking with any of those things that maybe are tricking us or want to just cause us more struggle or want to tap into fear-based energy. So all of this discernment is going to help you to align with and recognize what is of the highest vibration and of the highest good so you can decide whether you want to listen or not. So the first thing is, number 1, does it feed your ego? So if you're listening to a psychic, if you're listening to a channel and the information that they're giving feeds your ego, meaning, and one of the important things with this is you need to know what your ego sounds like and what energy your ego holds. So you need to know when your ego is activated. If a channel is channeling and it feeds your ego, makes you feel like you're better than other people, makes you feel like, those people, you should have, retribution on something, that you should hurt somebody, that you should, do something that goes against your morals or goes against, your ethics, then more than likely it's either coming from a low vibrational source or it's coming from the psychic or their channel in themselves. High vibrational energy is never going to encourage you to harm another person. It's never going to encourage you. It's never going to try to feed your ego to make you feel like you're better than other people, that other people don't deserve things that they have. It's not going to do that, or it shouldn't do that. So if the information you're listening to is feeding your ego and it's getting you in this place of like really hyping you up in that ego aspect, in that I'm better than other people aspect, then more than likely it's coming from a false source or it's coming from a low vibrational energy. Okay. Number 2, one of the things to ask yourself is, does it come from an ego or a negative perspective? And I'm going to share something with you that a lot of people miss. I've seen psychics and channels, then they're channeling a guide. Somebody will ask a channel something and their comeback will be very rude. Their comeback will be very negative. Their comeback will be condescending or sarcastic. And never will a high vibrational being, will a high vibrational spirit be negative, be rude, be condescending, be sarcastic, lash out at you. It just doesn't happen. So if you're watching a channel or listening to a psychic and the responses, and maybe you're watching somebody else ask a question, or maybe they're just speaking and it's rude, it's condescending, it's sarcastic, it's any of those things, that is 100% coming from the channel themselves or coming from a low vibrational energy. And that's really important because I'm not going to live my life and take information from a low vibrational energy. I'm also, for the most part, not living my life and taking information from just a random person. So when we can start discerning what that energy is in the messages, what that energy is in the tone, it's going to help you to decide whether it aligns with you or not. Number 3, and I think this is really important. I actually had a conversation with somebody today about this, and I absolutely agree with this. When I do my psychic readings, when I do channeled information, even when I do the energy readings, the things that I channel are provable. They're provable, even if not in that 1 second, not in that exact minute. Okay. Now, I'm not asking you to use your discernment in this exact minute and say, I'm following this person or not. Most of the time, we see people over and over and over again. We watch their content shows up in front of us, or we tap into what they're doing over and over and over again. Over the course of time, what a channel says to you, what a psychic says, even in their general readings, even in their general channeling sessions, absolutely should be provable or start to unfold. Okay. For the past 7 or 8 years, I don't know off the top of my head, I've been doing universal energy readings. These universal energy readings are incredibly accurate. If you listen to them, it's literally the unfolding of life every freaking year. Everything that I say unfolds. It's provable. I can give you information that allows you to know that I am tapped into that energetics so you can see it immediately in your life. It resonates with you. It's happening. So many psychics and so many channels are not giving provable information. They're not giving things that you can then turn around and be like, oh yeah, this and this and this. Recently saw, something that they were talking about things that happen on other planets. That's not provable. Now, I'm not saying every little detail of what somebody gives you has to be provable, but some of the things that people are saying, they must be able to be proven, or in my opinion, they're probably not tapped into the right energy. Most psychics like to be able to prove to you that what they're channeling is accurate because it's so important to them to validate and to be able for you to trust them. So they're going to give you provable information. So make sure if you're following someone for a longer period of time that the things that they have said have happened, have unfolded in the way that they said they were going to. And it doesn't have to be every single thing, but make sure that there's information they're giving you that actually can be proven. If not, I would check your source. Number 4, it's super important, and this is a good one, and this is one that not a lot of people will know unless you're psychic or you've taken a psychic course from me. It's important to ask yourself when you're listening to information, does it come from an all-knowing source? Does the information come from an all-knowing source? Now, you may be asking, like, Carrie, how do we know if it comes from an all-knowing source? And that's very easy. I have seen channels lately say that the beings they're channeling are studying humans to understand how humans work. There are no high vibrational beings that are studying humans to try to understand how humans work in human life. They already know. They already know. Nobody is out there with a lower intelligence level than humans. Nobody. Not in the celestial realms, not in the spiritual realms, not in the high vibrational realms. They very much understand our way of thinking. They very much understand our life. They very much know what's going to unfold. It's not a surprise. It's only a surprise to the logical mind, and it's only a surprise to humans. That's it. So if you're listening to a channel that says that they're trying to understand humans, that they're trying to rationalize what humans are doing, they're trying to reconcile, they're trying to know us better, they're messing with you. Or the channel has no idea what they're talking about. And that's really important. I'm not channeling with a being that doesn't know me well enough. I'm not asking them questions that doesn't know me well enough to actually help me. And again, these beings the beings that we're connecting with, the beings out in the spiritual realm have a better understanding of life, of existence than we do, for the most part, generally speaking. Okay. There are some really clear, I like to call myself a very clear psychic. You can ask me anything about the spiritual world and I can answer that for you in a split second. There are no beings on that side that ever come to me and they're like, help me to understand what humans are doing. Help me to understand human relationships. Help me to understand. They're just not there. They just don't exist. So if you see that people are saying that or teaching that or talking that or connecting to beings in that level, they're not beings I personally would want to connect to at all, nor gather information from. So use your discernment. They are connected to energetics. They have a clear connection to source energy, to the all-telling consciousness. We don't. We are the only ones who don't. So they already know all the information that there is. And this is crucial because I see this a lot. And the last one, which is really important, and I think it gives you the most power in making your decisions as to whether you are going to follow a channel, whether you're going to listen to what they say, whether you're going to allow them to activate fear inside of you, whether you're going to allow them to take you down a road that maybe doesn't unfold the best way in your life, is does it trigger you and does it feel off? Now, in the spiritual community, they talk about the fact that if it triggers you, and I talk about this when we're talking about healing, okay? If it triggers you, there's something inside of you that you need to look at. That's true. That's true. It is. Look at whether this actually makes sense to you. Look at whether your soul is saying, absolutely not. This is not the right thing. You know, when I'm making decisions in my life, I hear my guides all the time, okay? But there are absolutely things that unfold. Somebody will say something to me. Somebody will ask me a question. Even the other day, an employee was like, hey, should we do this? And immediately was like, ooh, like everything closed up in my body. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. Our bodies know what is in alignment for us and what is not. Our bodies know what is off. If you learn to trust your body and to listen to it, your own physical reaction is going to tell you whether something you hear, something you read, something somebody tells you is something that you necessarily want to believe in or are ready to believe in or should believe in. You get to do your own discernment. You get to feel into something. If something feels off to you, it generally is. Now, can there be healing that's needed? Yeah. And you get to try and you get to work on that. That's an own awareness of what do I need to heal? What am I processing through? What's something that triggers me all the time versus when I listen to something and I'm just like, that is not right. Trust your gut. Trust that natural instinct that everybody holds. That's your intuition, helping you to align with the things that are right for you versus the things that are not right for you. Going through these, number one, really quickly, does it feed your ego? Number two, does it come from an egoic source, a negative source, sarcastic, condescending, any of those things? Number three, can the channel prove it? Number four, does the information come from an all-knowing source? And number five, how does it feel when you run it through your body? More and more, there are going to be psychics and channels and people delivering information of things that they've heard or things that they've seen or things that they download, beings that have come forward and spoken to them. There are a lot more beings coming to the earth, like I've talked about in my other videos. There's a lot more psychics that are opening up their psychic abilities, which is amazing. But not everybody is doing their due diligence when it comes to their psychic gifts. And not everybody is truly tuned into what's really unfolding. And not everybody is an actual psychic or a channel. And maybe they're just looking for views. So use these tools in order to use your discernment, because when you use your discernment, you're going to live a life that's most aligned with you. As always, be sure to subscribe and like. You can leave a comment if you want. Let me know of things that you want to hear, and I will see you next time on The Psychic Within. Bye.